Contentment will save your life, not metaphorically, literally. It's going to save your life. The decisions you make from a desperate place will cost you. They'll cost you relationships, they'll cost you opportunities, they'll cost you your own peace of mind. It's all the casualties of a life lived without contentment. And the scary part of all this is that the desperation is very, very silent. It doesn't announce itself. It just slowly starts making decisions on your behalf, and interestingly, you won't even notice until the damage is already done. Let me explain what I mean. I want to establish something first before we go any further, because I know what some of you are already thinking. But contentment is not stagnation. Contentment is not settling. It doesn't kill your desire for better or your hunger for growth. Those things can coexist. It's fine. What contentment does, what it actually does, is take the desperation out of your pursuits. And that one action alone, that one shift changes everything. Because I've seen desperation so many times, and it makes people make bad decisions. It makes people stay in the wrong room for way too long when they are not respected or valued. Desperation would make you attach yourself to the wrong things, the wrong people, the wrong opportunities. But then we're all just going to dress it up and call it ambition. We'll call it drive, we'll call it the grind. But underneath all of it is fear. Fear that what they have, what I have, what you have is not enough. Fear that who we are is not enough. And contentment deals with that fear at the roots. Love Yours by J. Cole. I love the song so much. He said there's no such thing as a life that is better than yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. It's easy to hear that and think he's just being poetic, but if you look at it deeply, he means it. He's not saying your life is perfect. He's not saying there's no room to grow or nothing to fix. He's saying the moment you start measuring your life against someone else's, then you started losing your peace, you started losing your clarity. You started losing your ability to actually be present in what God has given you right now. There's always a step higher than the one you're on. Always. Desire it, go for it, work for it, but don't find identity in it, because if your identity lives in what you're chasing, you will never actually arrive. The goalpost will always move. The thing you wanted becomes the thing that you have, and suddenly it's not enough, and now you need the next thing after that, and the next thing after that, and the next thing after that. And you keep running that race, you keep wondering why you feel empty at the finish line. Lacrae said something very similar to what J. Cole said, but in the song Confessions. He said there isn't anything wrong with getting it. Matter of fact, go and have it. But if you find identity in it, then go and forget it. That's the line, the whole conversation right there. You can want nice things, you can want success, you can want to level up in every area of your life, but none of that is wrong. Honestly, don't get me wrong. None of that is wrong. It's beautiful. But the second that thing becomes your source of identity, you're in trouble. Because now you don't just want it, you need it. And needing it changes how you move, changes how you treat people, it changes how you see yourself on days when it's not going well. You can be an overachiever and still be miserable. I've seen this before. Maybe you know someone like this. Maybe you have been someone like this. Successful on paper, accomplished by every external measure, but deeply, privately unhappy. And it's a contentment problem. It doesn't just stay theoretical, it touches your life in very real ways. You will be a better friend if you are content, because a discontent person is always comparing. You're always clocking what someone else has and measuring it against what they don't. It's hard to genuinely celebrate a friend's win when you're quietly keeping a score. Contentment it's going to free you from all of this. It's going to let you sit across from someone in their blessing and actually be happy for them, because your worth is not tied to the comparison. Now, when we do not tackle this, we will continue to misinterpret the disposition of others in our lives as complacency or a high lack of agency. Meanwhile, their life is the world that already makes sense to them. You're exactly where they want to be. Understand your drive, understand what fuels it, what direction it wants to go, and then also understand that of others around you too. What contentment is should be properly defined, and once it is, your life will start to make a whole lot more sense. You will be a better husband if you're content, a better wife, a better son, a better parent. So much of what slowly erodes a relationship is the habit of focusing on what your partner is not rather than honoring what they are. Nobody can survive being someone's disappointment forever. And a lot of times it has nothing to do with them. They haven't changed. But you've been feeding yourself a discontentment that was never really about them in the first place. Contentment with your spouse doesn't mean you should stop growing together. It means you stop, You stop auditing them against an imaginary version of who they should be. It's not a weekly check-in to see if I have a standard of you in my head and I want to see how far you have gotten to this. And even if the person or your partner eventually gets to that, you set the goal line at the next. And it's not that you're looking at, okay, we should grow together. It's a constant auditing in your mind. It's going to affect your relationship with God too, because, and this is the part I think about the most, my definition of joy. And I believe I got this from something I read. I'm not really sure. I can't exactly remember where, but joy means always finding contentment in God and with God. That's the whole definition, which means joy is not a feeling that comes and goes depending on the season. It's not something the good days give you, and it's not something the hard days can take away. It's a settled, rooted, grounded knowing that I am held, a knowing that I am held, that I am not behind, that I am not lacking in what I truly need, that God is enough, and because God is enough, I am enough. So when I say you cannot steal my joy, I want you to understand what I'm actually saying. I'm not being arrogant. I'm not saying my life has no problems or that I don't feel things. I feel everything, but what I rest in is not something you have access to. It's not something any of those external problems have access to. It's not located in my circumstance. It's not dependent on my bank account or my relationships or how the year is going. I require nothing outside of the God I already have. That's where I anchored my contentment. That's where my joy lives. And here's what life actually looks like on the other side. It looks like clarity. You start to see things for what they are because desperation is no longer distorting your vision. Your decisions would start leaning towards the right side more often because you're not making them from a place of lack. Your relationships are going to get deeper because you're showing up as someone who is present, not someone who is perpetually somewhere in their head chasing the next thing. I mean, there is a whole life waiting for you on the other side of contentment. And the entry point is not getting everything you want. The entry point is finding genuine peace in what you already have while you work towards what is next. Let me repeat that again. The entry point in finding genuine peace is not getting everything you want. The entry point is finding genuine peace in what you already have while you work towards what is next. Your life can always be better. There's always a bigger step to take. There's always a higher step. But it is already your life. This is what you have now. This is where you are. This is who you are. It already has value. And it already has God in it if you let Him in. So just start there. Build from there. Be content because I promise you contentment is going to save your life. Well,